I grew up loving the high Sierras. Every summer, I would find myself somewhere there. Straight down, 2,000 feet.
Wow, that went seriously.
Oh no. Perfectly calm. I had driven up to Tioga Pass. And this year I was on a trip by myself, and it was going to be my last trip as a single guy. I remember going off the trail for miles, and I found this perfect camp spot. And then I did something that was often one of my favorite things to do at about sunset. And I would go on walks with just my wool socks. And I was making my way along as silent as can be, and a glint caught my eye. And I went back to where the glint was, and when I reached down, it was an arrowhead. And I couldn't believe it. So I'm holding this thing, really thanking God for this gift. And I'm silently walking forward just a few more feet, and I look up, and maybe 12 feet in front of me was this huge buck. And he sort of snorted at me, and he put his nose down and browsed at the grass for a second. And he stood up again, and he looked at me, and I just looked at him. It was such a gift to me. I took the stick that I'd sharpened for the fish, and I took a couple of other things, and I found a rock with a cleft, and I hid them. And I thought, next summer I'm going to bring her back here, and I'm going to pull these out, and I'm going to show her, here's our camp spot. It was time for me to go home. And I remember driving. At the time, I didn't understand what was going on with me, but I started weeping. Really, really sobbing. And I remember going, what is wrong with you? Because I had everything to look forward to. I had this great one-of-a-time experience in the High Sierra I was going to tell Karen about. And it was 2 months later that I fell from that ladder and broke my shoulder and the base of my neck and was instantly paralyzed. And suddenly I couldn't move anything from my chest down. Never went back. Never was able to take Karen there. But when I was weeping on the way home, I've often wondered if there wasn't something in my soul, the eternal part of me, that somehow knew what was ahead. My days in the Sierras were done, and that was it. I was injured when I was 29, and in this coming November, I will have been in a wheelchair 33 years. It was a profound moment to realize I'd been sitting in this chair that long. When so much of my heart and my memory is wrapped up in the High Sierras and doing things and the fun of life, that's still very alive in me, but I haven't been able to do it. The accident and the paralysis happened to me, but Karen chose. I remember the day I was injured, she came into ER and she looked down at me and she says, well, I still love you and I'm with you. And she still is. And this month we celebrate 32 years of marriage. I'm in a chair which literally isolates me. Even Karen and I, when we're sitting next to each other, there's a wheelchair. Or if we're walking down the street, it's hard to hold her hand because I need to control the wheelchair. So that sense of isolation physically is profound for me. I've often, wonder what eternity will look like. I've wondered where I might take Karen on the ultimate backpacking trip, or what stream we might sit by. And of course I'll walk. It's almost a given to me. But that doesn't consume my time. What consumes my time is being restored to her in who we are. I look forward to being with her with no separation. I've often gone back to that time, that evening in the Sierras. The things I put in that cleft are still there. It will be so cool to show her what's in the rock, because to this day, I haven't told her everything, and I haven't told anybody everything. And that's like this secret, fun surprise that I hold in my heart, that I look forward to